Hello there, children. Today, we are going to work on multiplying and dividing rational expressions. This educational experience is brought to you by your maestro of multiplication, Faust. So, let us begin. So, we have a rule. I'm going to call it the rule for today. The rule is this. If I have some function here, some f of x equals p over q, like this. So p polynomial, q polynomial. What this is going to look like is I am going to be able to cancel things, provided I have the following with the rule here. And you've seen this before. If I have two things that are multiplied together on top and multiplied together on the bottom, I can cancel out common factors, such as if I had 2 times x over, I don't know, 8, well, really 8 is 4 times 2, and the 2x, those 4's could cancel out. No, with the 2, or the 2's could cancel out here, would be the easiest thing to do. That's what I'm going to do here. Well, that's what we used to do before. Now it's going to get slightly more complicated. We are going to have these creatures. Polynomials divided by polynomials. So here is what you do. You are going to end up factoring everything. Factor, 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 factor. So the top, I'm going to factor. Well, it doesn't factor into much. Boring. The bottom, I need to factor x squared minus 4. Now, how do I factor x squared minus 4? That is the difference of squares. And what do I do with the difference of squares? I factor it as x minus 2, x plus 2. If you don't know, cancel them out. Now, what I'm going to end up doing here is canceling out the x plus 2's because they're linked on top and bottom with multiplication. And I'm left with this. 1, because the ghost 1 sitting up there, over x minus 2. And the problem is done. Let's try another one of these, shall we? Ooh, more factoring to be had by all. And now I have 2 of those items put together. So I'm going to factor the bottom right and the bottom left. You're welcome. Now to factor this numerator over here, that's the difference of squares. And this item over here, give me 2 numbers that multiply to a 4, and then add to a negative 4, that's x minus 2, and x minus 2. Now, here's what happens. These are now linked with multiplication in the middle. So really, I can almost extend this line here. So I have that over here. Now, some people like putting these in parentheses. It's not a bad idea. Like this. The one thing I cannot do is go, oh, look, there's an x, and cancel it. I can't do that because they're attached to stuff with subtraction. I can only cancel out whole factors. Now, what's nice is the rule is this. If they're on opposite sides, you can cancel. Just like the Revolutionary War, they stand across the side and bang, and they cancel each other out. So see this x minus 2? I can cancel out with one of these. Just one of them. It's 1 versus 1. These two don't get to gang up on that one and all cancel each other out. This x minus 2 takes out one of these two. I'll take out this one while I'm at it. This x plus 1. It can take out the x plus 1 from the numerator. And I'm left with this as my multiplication step here. Now, you don't have to FOIL this out. There's your answer. Done deal. Moving on. Now, this problem in particular, whoa, nothing to factor. That's okay. It's still the same principle. Stuff linked with multiplication. So I connect these, and now I look for things on the opposite sides. So let's look here at this x. This x. There are x's on the bottom. Well, there's one x technically up here, and 3 down there. This x will cancel out with this one, but that will leave 2 of them down there. Think about it. There's x, x, and x here. Only this one will kill off one of those. Let's look at this y. There's 1 y on the bottom and 4 y's up top. You've seen this stuff before, folks. If you remember back to chapter 6, and to be honest, chapter 7, where it dealt with our exponent properties, it's the quotient property, 4 minus 1. 1 minus 3 goes to a negative 2, and that would go to the bottom where this x squared resides. Now, the 4 here and the 8, you don't subtract them, you actually divide them, because 8 over 4 is 2 over 1. Now, after all that carnage, let's take a look here. I've got a 2 and a y to the third up top, and I've got an x squared in the bottom. Done deal. Moving on. Whoa, whoa, not okay. Division, ew. I never dealt with division. Oh man, this is going to be tough. What do I do from here? Well, luckily for all of you, I have a way around this. Instead of dividing by something, I'm going to do a little trick. I know what that is. Nope. It's all right, imaginary voice. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Yay! I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Which flips this second fraction around, and it doesn't do a thing to this first fraction. Multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Now, when I do that, guess what happens? I can then, oh, it's multiplication. Link them together. And then I use my properties. Let's go to the x squared. I have 2 x's up top and 4 on the bottom. That's 1 and an x squared. And this will become a y squared and 1. So I get y squared over x squared. Done deal. Now, if you would like some practice problems on these, here are some great practice problems that we will go over eventually. Excellent, excellent questions you should all be ready to answer should I choose to ask them about them. Now you're ready for the section and the work. Go henceforth and do.